Stop suffering through agonizing rides and numb sit bones when the perfect saddle could transform your daily cycling experience entirely. Today, we are finally uncovering which bike seats actually deliver on their lofty promises of cloud-like comfort and peak performance. We have put the top contenders through their paces, testing them on grueling commutes, rocky trails, and long endurance rides to see what truly holds up to sustained use. 5. WTB Volt Bike Seat. When I first bolted this onto my mountain bike, I immediately noticed the distinctive whale-tail design, which curves upward at the rear. This shape is engineered to give riders something to push against during steep, demanding climbs, and in practice, it does provide a solid platform when you are grinding up a tough hill. The padding is what WTB calls their HLX padding, which feels reasonably plush to the touch right out of the box. However, my experience on the trails quickly revealed some significant limitations with the overall design and comfort profile of the Volt. The initial plushness is quite deceptive, as the foam padding compresses rapidly under sustained weight, leaving you resting directly on the hard composite base much sooner than you would expect. During rides stretching past the hour mark, the seat became noticeably unforgiving, transmitting a harsh amount of trail vibration and impact directly into my sit bones. Another issue I encountered was with the overall profile of the nose, which is slightly wider than typical performance race saddles. While maneuvering through technical descents where I needed to quickly slide off the back of the seat, my riding shorts repeatedly caught on the wider edges of the nose. This might seem like a minor annoyance, but when you are trying to navigate tricky, fast-paced terrain, the last thing you want is to be tangled up with your own saddle. The synthetic cover material also leaves a lot to be desired in terms of breathability and long-term durability. On hotter afternoon rides, I found that the cover trapped body heat and moisture, creating a very swampy and uncomfortable environment rather quickly. 4. Fizik Tempo Argo. Fizik is renowned for their sleek, high-performance aesthetics, and the Tempo Argo is undeniably a beautiful piece of Italian design. I was eager to test this saddle on my road bike, drawn in by the generous central cutout, which is specifically meant to relieve soft tissue pressure. The Type 2 foam padding is noticeably thicker around the sit bone area, aiming to provide a more upright, endurance-oriented riding posture. On my first few test rides, the central pressure relief channel worked exactly as advertised, eliminating that dreaded numbness that often accompanies long miles on the tarmac. The short nose design also allowed me to rotate my pelvis forward aggressively without feeling pinched or restricted. However, the more time I actually spent on the Tempo Argo, the more its underlying structural flaws became glaringly apparent. The biggest problem lies in the drastic sudden transition between the soft upper padding and the extremely rigid carbon-reinforced nylon shell. When you hit a pothole, a speed bump, or a patch of rough pavement, the foam compresses instantly, and you are met with an incredibly jarring impact from the unforgiving base below. It completely lacks the progressive shock absorption needed to truly smooth out a long, demanding endurance ride. Furthermore, the specific shape of the saddle wings tapers too sharply for my personal liking. Instead of supporting a wider range of sit bone widths, I felt constantly forced into one incredibly specific, narrow sweet spot on the saddle. If I shifted even a fraction of an inch forward or backward to relieve muscle fatigue, I immediately felt unsupported and uncomfortable, making dynamic riding incredibly frustrating. 3. TONBUX Bike Seat. Unlike the rigid performance saddles we just looked at, the TONBUX embraces a wider, more heavily cushioned design intended for cruisers, commuters, and stationary bikes. When I swapped this onto my daily commuter bike, the difference was immediately night and day. The generous surface area completely cradles your sit bones, instantly distributing your body weight across a much wider, supportive platform. The secret to the TONBUX's immense success lies in its dual shock-absorbing ball suspension situated right beneath the rear of the saddle. I deliberately rode over cobblestones, cracked city sidewalks, and rough gravel paths to test this feature, and the rubber suspension balls soaked up the chatter beautifully. It creates a gentle floating sensation that drastically reduces the fatigue traveling up your spine, making those bumpy urban commutes feel incredibly smooth and manageable. Inside the saddle, TONBUX utilizes a high-density memory foam that genuinely contours to your specific body shape. Unlike standard cheap foam that degrades, compresses, or flattens over time, this premium material rebounds perfectly after every single ride. I spent hours at a time sitting on this saddle during indoor trainer sessions, which are notoriously brutal on the rear end, and I experienced zero numbness or painful pressure points. The central airflow channel is another fantastic design element that performs exceptionally well in real-world riding conditions. On warm summer days, this hollow core promotes continuous air circulation, keeping you cool and completely preventing that sticky, sweaty feeling that plagues traditional wide saddles. It also adds a crucial layer of perineal pressure relief, making it a highly ergonomic choice for long, relaxed afternoon rides. Finished with a durable, wear-resistant, and waterproof microfiber artificial leather, the TONBUX is built to survive the harsh outdoor elements. 2. Bikeroo Saddle. Bikeroo has built a massive reputation for rescuing riders from painful stock seats, and after extensively testing this model, it is incredibly easy to see exactly why. The absolute moment you settle onto this saddle, you are greeted by an incredibly thick, plush layer of engineered elastomer padding that feels exactly like sitting on a premium living room armchair. What sets the Bikeroo apart from other wide comfort saddles is the meticulous attention to the ergonomic spring suspension system. Underneath the wide rear platform, dual steel springs work tirelessly to absorb major impacts. I took this seat on a heavily rutted dirt road, and the springs compressed perfectly to swallow up the deep potholes, preventing that sharp, jarring pain that usually shoots straight up your lower back. Forgiving ride quality that makes you actively want to pedal further. The profile of the Bikeroo is brilliantly shaped for upright riding positions, making it an absolute dream for beach cruisers, hybrid bikes, and electric bikes. The deep central groove runs almost the entire length of the saddle, providing unparalleled pressure relief for sensitive areas. During my extensive testing, I found that this channel completely eliminated the dreaded tingling sensation in my legs, allowing me to maintain my pedal stroke with zero discomfort or need to stand up and stretch. I was also incredibly impressed by the overall build quality and the comprehensive package that Bikeroo provides to its riders. The saddle comes with a universal mounting system that easily clamped onto both my modern e-bike and a vintage cruiser without any frustrating mechanical modifications. 1. LCYMD Seat. Out of all the saddles I have ever tested, absolutely nothing comes close to the cloud-like embrace of this incredibly well-engineered seat. It features a genuinely oversized, extra-wide profile that completely supports your entire seating area, drastically reducing the localized pressure that ruins so many cycling adventures. The true magic of the LCYMD saddle lies in its multi-layered cushioning system, which pairs premium high-density memory foam with a highly responsive gel layer. Sitting on this seat feels like an incredibly tailored experience. The gel displaces to fit your exact physical contours, while the memory foam provides deep supportive resistance. I took this saddle on a massive 3-hour weekend tour, and my sit bones felt just as fresh and pain-free at mile 30 as they did at mile 1. Furthermore, the suspension system on the LCYMD is the most robust and effective we tested, utilizing massive dual elastomer shock absorbers. These dampeners are incredibly quiet, completely lacking the annoying squeaks of traditional metal springs, while absorbing aggressive bumps with stunning efficiency. When dropping off curbs or navigating severely broken pavement, the elastomers soaked up the kinetic energy seamlessly, isolating my body entirely from the harshness of the road. The safety and convenience features woven into this design elevate it far above the standard competition on the market. The rear of the saddle features a bright, highly reflective band that drastically improves your visibility during night rides or early morning commutes in traffic. Additionally, the premium PU leather surface is completely waterproof, scratch-resistant, and features a brilliant non-slip texture that keeps you perfectly positioned even when you are riding in slick, rainy conditions.